All right, welcome everybody. Phil, give us the intro.
Welcome one and all to the first ever live stream of the Dog and Chicken Show, Extreme Edition, of course. We are here for Super Tuesday, giving you the live results as it comes in. Who would have ever thought Joe Biden coming in with huge wins in states we would have never thought? Oklahoma, Minnesota. My thoughts on it? Tonight, chicken, is the night the Democrats sobered up.
Well, maybe they sobered up, or maybe they just said, yeah, I don't know. Let's just pick that guy, because I think that this has been crazy. So let's get everybody caught up real quick. So Super Tuesday, it's over 1,000 delegates on the line for the Democrats. We've been watching the news on and off throughout the day. And heading into today, everybody was wondering how big of a lead was Bernie Sanders going to come out with after this whole debacle of, primary season has been for the Democrats. But surprisingly, Mr. Gaff, Joe Biden, has somehow pulled not only pulled a rabbit out of his ass, really. Yeah. But he's done a hat trick. Like, not only kind of thought maybe he would get Minnesota, Virginia, Bloomberg thought he had a good thing going there, but nope, he took Virginia.
Bought the state, you would think he would have, but no.
But then, holy shit, for the hat trick, he's gonna win Massachusetts. That's Warren's state, and Warren's gonna come in third. It looks like. What the fuck?
That one's just a straight up, what the fuck? Like, yeah, this is why Klobuchar dropped out, because Warren stayed in, and now she's going to get humiliated in her own home state. Might end her political career in her home state. I can see it doing that.
Yeah, it's kind of scary for her. So we're about 5-6 minutes away from the final polls closing. The big state, of course, California, which has a shit ton of delegates to go after. But
Sanders won Utah.
Yeah, Sanders. So I got it pulled up here, so we can do a quick breakdown. Alabama goes to Biden, more than likely. Arkansas
go to Trump in the election.
Right. Arkansas looks like it's going for Biden.
Same thing.
California looks like it's going to go to Sanders for the most part, but you'll still get a handful of delegates going to Biden in that one. Colorado, Sanders. Maine, surprisingly, is tilting back towards Biden. So looks like Biden's going to take Maine too. It's only 24 delegates, so not a huge deal, but hey, every delegate counts at this point. Massachusetts is the big upset. Biden taking that. Minnesota, of course, with Klobuchar's nomination and approval, will now go to Biden. Biden also takes North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee. Looks like he took Virginia, I mentioned already, but it looks like everybody's been like, Texas looks like it's going to Bernie. All of a sudden, the comeback old man is making a comeback in Texas now.
Yeah. This one's kind of crazy, but also the thing you need to understand, all these states that you're listing off for Biden that's going to maybe give him the nomination, you're describing a lot of Trump country there. Okay,
yeah, that's the red South, isn't it?
Yeah, so I get it, but I could understand how Bernie voters could be feeling real cheated at this moment. I follow some political forums where I like the fact that everybody's a very diverse political opinions. We got police officers, attorneys, I'm a farmer, we got engineers, we got all kinds of people, stock analysts. And I've noticed that, yeah, this is Trump country. The people that are the hardcore Bernie bros, they are not going to be happy about the fact that it was basically the South. And Biden spent, it was basically states that Biden's never been to, never visited, spent maybe a few $1,000s, never opened up any campaign headquarters. And it's these vast swaths of southern states. Now, that's democracy. That's the way it works. But As it stands at this moment, right now, Biden has 160 delegates, Sanders has 118, Warren has 12, and Bloomberg somehow has 7 delegates. I don't.
He spent $7 million, so he should get 1 delegate per million. Is that math right?
No, he spent almost 500 million. So for half $1 billion, he can say he's got 7 whole delegates.
Yep. Read this morning. $464 million as of January 31st, Bloomberg spent. You know who spent the least? Biden with 69.9 million. And he's going to take it.
Yeah, because he's had CNN, NBC, MSNBC, CBS, Washington Post, fucking New York Times, and everything else giving him free campaign ads every day. So yeah. It's kind of easy to.
We got a couple minutes before California closes, and they make big announcements on any calls.
That one could take days, but I mean, when we know at least who's got a general idea of who's ahead, that'll be big. But oh God, I never thought we'd be in a position where Biden is close to wrapping up this nomination tonight.
Oh, I know, it's crazy. So I want to share the most recent Biden gaffes real quick before California closes.
Oh, there's more?
So here's some of the recent ones. Let's see. Here's where he forgets what day it is.
So join us. Go to joebiden.com. Sign up, volunteer, contribute if you can. But we need you very badly. Every vote matters tomorrow. The most important vote to make sure it's not going to be any problem is that you send back Sheila Jackson Lee as the nominee without any question. That's the most important. Look, tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and I want to thank you all.
Super Thursday.
Super Tuesday.
Oh, God. Biden and his gaffes, if he is the nominee, there's going to be some gaffe like October 19th that's just gonna, like, I don't know what it's gonna be, but oh my God.
How about this one? Did you see this? He forgot the Declaration of Independence the other day.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
You know the thing.
You know the thing. Really? You know the thing. Well,
the thing. You know the scariest thing though? I think I have it pulled up.
Other than the thing?
Other than the thing. This happened tonight. So he's doing his speech here about 30 minutes ago. This is what I text you about, Phil. He had some protesters. This got a little too close, in my opinion.
And unions built the middle class. In the neighborhoods we come from, the three.
Oh, that's not it. Hold on. Here we go. There's another one.
What are they protesting?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, let's see.
I'm not sure, but that's disgusting. We talked about it the other night. Like, you couldn't do that to Trump. Like, you'd get shot.
Yeah, and, like, let's be frank here. I mean, I don't know what the regulations are, but like, at what point does the Secret Service kind of walk in and is like, all right, sir, we're responsible for your security now because you might be the president. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wondering what that exact moment is. I don't know, because there is a point where a major candidate gets some level of Secret Service detail, but man, Biden, step up the security, man. Jesus, that's you're lucky it was just some wackaloon that wanted to, protest against like the dairy industry or some crazy nonsense.
Hey, it's 10 o'clock, 10:01 Central Time. So that means the California polls have closed and they will begin the counts. Curious to see how that plays out, of course.
Right now, it's looking like, according to ABC News, Sanders has 29% in Texas. So he's in a slight lead over Biden. Again, I'm
Yeah,
just going off ABC News, which actually, funny enough, that's all the Young Turks did during their election analysis. Is they just had a TV on with CNN and they just talk about it.
just
So I mean,
shit, we could do that.
yeah, I mean, we're basically at least as good as the Young Turks at this point. So
Oh yeah, Cenk
California,
Uygur.
they're not giving any numbers yet. ABC's not comfortable giving any numbers. I'm just going with ABC because even if you think they're a little slighted one way or the other, it's still pretty milk toast news. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
here you go. Here's a breakdown of Texas so far on counts that are coming in. So you think of the highly populated
You don't
areas. It looks
suppose
like
Austin is going for Bernie, do you?
oh, it looks like it. So
I got some.
San Antonio's going to 33% Sanders, Austin 37. Houston is neck and neck. That's a big deal. That's a lot. Dallas, Biden's got almost 3%.
I can
Fort
see that.
Worth, Sanders way ahead in Fort Worth.
Get the fuck out. What? Dallas
Yeah.
and Fort Worth are the same fucking city. What?
It's
I
the
know. I'm
counties.
going to offend all kinds of people in Texas, but I'm sorry. I've driven through it many times. It's just one gigantic fucking metropolis. I can't. I'm trying to wrap my mind around how this massive metropolis could have two disparate sets of politics like that.
Yeah.
Now, please, in the comments section, let me know.
Yeah, no kidding. So looking at this map here, the little red blobs, that is support for Bloomberg. And
There's wow.
so you think is that rich farm ranchers that might be buddies with him? I don't know Texas
you would
that
think
well.
they would be
so-
Republican. You know, you would think.
Well, Bloomberg used to be Republican, so
But the rich farming ranchers in Texas, those would be your Republican. Like I'm just.
or are
The
these
fact
just
that Bloomberg
the
got
people he bought off?
Like I'm sorry.
Okay, look
I
at the
know this
vote
is sound a
counts
little
though.
overly critical, but the
Let's
fact
look-
that
look at the
Bloomberg was
vote
able
counts.
to walk away with 7 delegates. Democrats, you should be ashamed of yourself. Hang your heads in shame. Really? 7 delegates?
So let's look at one of these counties here. I think this kind of explains it a little bit. So this is Roberts County in the North Texas. 100% of the votes appear to be in, with 6 votes for Bloomberg, 1 Biden, 1 Warren.
Oh, okay. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
In the whole county, you could find 8 Democrats. Okay. Yeah, that makes a
That
little
sounds
more
like a
sense.
Nebraska vote. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, whew. Massachusetts, they've given it to Biden. Massachusetts is Biden now. So
That's official now. So what do you see? Because like before this, I can't remember. I think it was somebody had tweeted out like a poll on Twitter of like what do you think it'll end with, of how far ahead will Sanders be? And I put under 100. I didn't think he showed strong in the last couple weeks, and I thought with everybody dropping out and supporting Biden, and then yesterday, all 3 of them, and plus the little Beto kick, which he will get votes in Texas just because of that Beto kick. Don't downplay it. I was like, no, Biden's going to come in stronger, and everybody's giving him credit for it. But I didn't picture this. I thought Bernie would come out of this with a good 50 to 70 point or 70 delegate lead. I'm looking at this and seeing a lot of this. I don't know. I think
keep
this
in mind,
might
1,300 delegates are going to be awarded tonight. So we got a ways to go. But yeah, as it looks right now, man, I'd be really disheartened if I was in Bernie's camp.
Yeah, it is disheartening because this is just the trend that you're going to see now.
But man, this contested convention is gonna be brutal. I mean, it's gonna be knockdown, drag out, thumb in the eye, yank in the ear, spitting in the face, scratching. Yeah, it's going to be knockdown, drag out, just messy. Like, whew. I almost wish we were more. I wish we had somebody on the ground there to just watch it, like as a Royal Rumble, just like give their analysis, like as you would see like a big Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight or something like that. Just like for the spectacle it is, not for the political analysis. Just
for
view it as a spectacle. I think that'd be actually pretty fun.
So I'm digging around online right now trying to get some forecasting or analysis to see what some of them are saying. New York Times right now is estimating that Biden's going to come out of this with 631 delegates and Sanders with 575.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's also saying Bloomberg's going to end up with 141. So I don't know.
No.
It's New York Times.
No more than the 7 he has now. You have to be shitting me. If Bloomberg goes in to any convention in any democracy on the planet Earth with 100 delegates, you have basically inflated that man's ego for the rest of his days. And that's all he wanted. He just wanted to say, I was at least kind of, sort of, maybe actually not really close to being president one time. That's all he wants.
So Phil, I'm looking. We got somebody watching on our live stream here. They want you to chug the bottle. I don't know what you got in front of you there. I don't know if it's safe for you to chug. It looks like wine. What are you drinking tonight?
It's Schlinkhaus Dornfelder. It's red wine, one of my personal favorites. Dornfelder is one of the great unsung heroes of the red wine world. It's from the Rhine Valley of Germany. SCHLINKHAUS, Schlinkhaus. So welcome to the Dog and Chicken Show Extreme Edition. We're happy to have you. And goodness gracious, how the hell does Bloomberg have 7?
How can Bloomberg end up with 100 or more?
I mean,
it looks like it might. He could happen.
$500 million for these 7 delegates. So I mean, I'll let him have it. But oh my god, Sanders in Alabama did bad, but he's never done well in the South. That was what undid him last time around. I remember, I think it was Missouri, Hillary Clinton walked with like 86% in the primary, and Sanders just had nothing. So I knew the South was going to be a problem for him, but do you think, I don't see any way Biden makes major inroads in the South.
So if he wins the Democratic nomination because of the South, to go hold on, let's say either one, whether it's Bernie or if it's Biden, either one take the nomination. Does everybody realize that President Trump is the oldest sitting president ever, and now he'll be the youngest one running for president in this term? Like, how is what the fuck are we doing? Like,
yeah. I mean, when Ronald Reagan was running, I think he was 71 when he ran for president, and they were talking about how much of a problem that would be. He'd be downright young in this, current candidacy ring between Biden, Trump, and Bernie. He'd be the youngin' of the group. He'd be the, skip, 71-year-old. I mean, his hormones are almost not completely gone.
It's
that was a joke I stole from a Stephen Colbert report years ago about Holmes.
Was that back when Colbert was funny?
He's found his voice again on Our Cartoon President. It's a lot better show than a lot of people give it credit for. It's got a leftist slant, but what made Jon Stewart great was he had points in his show where everybody in the audience got to laugh. And so that's what Our Cartoon President kind of recaptured. And I'm looking forward to their analysis on Super Tuesday. Bernie Sanders, like, oh, great. What do you know? Thanks, Klobuchar. Thanks, Pete. stab me in the back, butch. Like, yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah, that does seem like what this turned into. Is they're all friendly on stage, well, except for Warren, but that's who they're trying to take the votes from, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and then Bloomberg. So what are your thoughts? Who's taken more votes away from Bernie and Biden? I think Warren's taken the votes away from Bernie, but how much do you think Bloomberg's taken from Biden, or is he taken from Bernie? Like, what's his play in this whole thing? Because he originally jumped into this whole thing to because he didn't think Biden was a viable candidate and he wasn't going to make it. So that's why he threw his name in the hat and said, "No, he's the establishment guy, but he's not going to make it. So I need to get in here." So, but now, like, is he taking Biden voters now?
Bloomberg did say earlier this evening that he will reassess his campaign in the morning, which I'm taking to mean he's doing a lot of backroom wheeling and dealing all night. That's what or he's just, nope, I'm going to bed early tonight. All y'all stew on it. Good luck. I mean, he is just kind of airstriking in this election, or what do they call it? Yeah, he's basically kind of calling it an airstrike via money of just ads here, 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 and here. And he's trying to, what should I say? Yeah, buy the election. If there is an impression that he's pulling votes from Biden now, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Bloomberg drops out within the next 48 hours.
So do you think he drops out and gives support to Biden because Biden all of a sudden has rallied and done the comeback kid thing?
I think the fact that Bloomberg was able to say, when it's all said and done, I think you might be able to point to, God, I don't know how many people. We'll see how many votes he gets at the end of Super Tuesday. If you could say to him, you got 500,000 people across this country to vote for you, Michael Bloomberg, that might be enough to stroke his ego to the point where he says, that's enough. All right, I'll just go to the convention and, my 100 and some delegates will be the deciding factor at the convention, and the Bloomberg camp or the Bernie camp and the Biden camp can fight over my 100 and some odd delegates. That I could see being enough for him. I don't think even he has enough illusion to think he's going to make it all the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. Bloomberg's thought, and I think some of the conversation he's had in the media was he really expected a contested convention, and that's where he was gonna try to take it from. He's like, delegates matter to a certain extent, but it's the super delegates that really matter, and so that's where he was. Hey, like, that's where I want it to go. I want this to be a contested convention. I want to steal it from everybody. That was his original mindset on this whole thing. So if he steps out, I think that's him just saying, okay, Biden's back or whatever. Even if Biden doesn't know what day it is, what state he's in, or can't remember the, Declaration of Independence, whatever. So, that could be your future president, people.
I don't know. I was online on a forum with a particularly zealous, that's a good word, particularly zealous Bernie bro, like almost religious zealotry. And they're saying, oh, don't worry, Bernie, he's going to take Wisconsin and Michigan back, and that's it. Trump's done. And I did the math, and Michigan and Wisconsin are 26 electoral votes, and President Trump won with 306. So even if you take away Michigan and Wisconsin, President Trump has 280 electoral votes, still above the 270 necessary.
Right. And again, this goes back to either one of them, no matter who takes the Democratic Party, either one of them, like, we see what people are doing with Biden and Bernie. If Biden's running away with this thing right now just because don't know about Bernie. I don't trust Bernie because I think that's what some of this is. And they're like, I'm going to go with somebody I kind of know won't fuck things up too badly and knows people that can pick up the pieces if it does fall apart. I'll vote for Biden because I think that's what some of this is. But then you put Trump against Biden, and then you get the fumbling and bumbling that Biden has on stage. Trump's gonna just mop the floor with them. It will be sad, and I don't mean this to be like mean to Biden. Like the guy's been around for a lot of years, and he's probably done a lot of really good things for people. He's probably not that bad of a guy, but you put him up against Trump and have them debate each other on policies and issues. And with Trump, we've seen Trump's, comedy, like his stand-ups got great timing when you look at, his recent, his CPAC speech that he gave. But like, you put him up against Biden, put them on stage together. You saw what he did to Hillary. Holy shit. You saw what he did to the other
because
Republicans.
You'd be in jail.
Yeah,
that one.
The timing, and it struck home. And I was a big like, fuck Trump. I don't want nothing to do with Trump. And then that night when he said that, I was like, that was pretty good. Like, I think he just got a bunch of voters on that one. Like, oh, but like, what do you think that'll do with Biden? Like, do you think it'll survive? Like, how can Biden go up against that storm if Hillary couldn't survive it?
Again, it's just going to be the blue wall. Biden's counting on blue wall, and he should be able to. I think Biden will take one of the Rust Belt states back. I don't think he's going to clean sweep it, but there's also polling that says that Trump could take Minnesota this time around, which is unbelievable, but that's going to be a battleground state now. Minnesota, which has been classic blue for all these years. Now, I thought Virginia was going to be a swing state. I'm now ready to retract that particular prediction because Biden, this one was pretty shocking. And the last time around in 2016, Hillary Clinton got about 800,000 votes out of Virginia. Not bad.
No, that's not
Biden was able to pull 1.2 million. So there's a lot of new voters. Now, the conspiracy, tinfoil hat would say, well,
I'll put that hat on. I'll put it on. Give
Democrats,
it to me, Phil.
They sure do know how to, get the voter drive registration out of the graveyard. That's always been their, that's the conspiracy that people are going to say. But in reality, I can see Biden energizing people in the South. He's got a really massive lock with the black vote, which I think locked it in terms of the DNC leadership's mind. Like once they saw how well he did in South Carolina, I think they went to Klobuchar, they went to Buttigieg and said, okay, I'm sorry, you are not going to be the nominee. You have no pull with the black vote. We need that demographic to win. And Biden has demonstrated his ability, in the entertainment industry, they call giving them the rub, and I think Biden got some of the Obama rub. Obama gave him the rub, and now he's got some of that star pizzazz. I mean, hard to believe. You don't think of showmanship and star power when you think of Joe Biden, but I think the principle still applies.
Yeah, for sure. So for anybody who might be just tuning in or just joining in, so it looks like we're sitting right now. I'm jumping between sites to kind of see where we're sitting at for delegate count. It depends on what website you look. Of course, CNN wants to make this all thrilling and close. So they
Sanders is at 29% in Texas, and Biden's at 25%. Just as a side note.
So that's getting closer because as Biden was at 23, I do believe earlier. So he's gaining ground there. So if you look at CNN's got Biden with 173 delegates, Bernie with 165. If you look at MSNBC, they're predicting right now with Biden with 293 and Sanders at 248, but it's MSNBC. Jesus, God knows where they're getting their
ABC
info.
has Sanders at 192, Biden at 187, Warren at 12, and Bloomberg still at a disgraceful 7. But yeah, that was Democrats, step your game up. Come on.
Yeah. So it's
man, I mean,
it's hard to tell on some of these, like where this is going to end up. But
if Biden outperforms in California, this is over. Like, it's over. There's just Bernie's going to walk away with it. I mean, not Bernie. Biden's going to walk away with it if Biden can outperform in California. Bernie needs every vote possible in California to keep himself in this race.
Yeah. So updating here, looking at New York Times. So Biden takes Alabama, Arkansas, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Virginia. Likely looks like he's going to take Maine. We'll see. We got a little bit to go. Only 46% reporting, but it's leaning towards Biden. Sanders has Colorado, Utah, Vermont. Has an edge in Texas. It looks like the Biden lean in Texas is evening out. So Sanders with 34% in looks like he's a little bit of the favorite there. And then everybody thought
With
Sanders would
less
take
than
California.
40,000 votes right now separate Biden and Sanders in Texas, but Sanders desperately needs to be able to say he put a W in Texas right now.
Oh yeah, that's legit. He's got to be able to say that. Like,
if he can't put it away in the big population states of Texas and California, I'm sorry, stick a fork in him. If a populist can't put it away in populist states, shit, man, I don't know. I mean, he's running on populism anyways. We'll see how popular it is in this year of our Lord 2020. But yeah, 192 delegates right now for Sanders. So at this very second, ABC has him in the lead. But yeah, Bloomberg, he's only won American Samoa, and I kind of wonder, did he buy the island? And like, how did that work out? How did he?
So, I think I text the screenshot to you. Let me get it pulled up here. And actually, what's her name? Tulsi Gabbard came in second in Samoa. This was actually a little surprising to me. So total vote counts for American Samoa came in with Bloomberg with 175, which is 49%. That gives him 4 delegates. Tulsi Gabbard got 103 votes. That's 29%. Gave her 1 delegate. So hey, Tulsi got a delegate.
Hey,
hell yeah, go Tulsi.
You go Tulsi.
Yeah,
all the good it did. Oh man.
Sanders got 37 votes. Biden got 31, and Elizabeth Warren got 5.
How long do you think she drops out?
It depends on how long the DNC makes her stay in. Honestly,
I don't think they need her anymore to draw votes away from Sanders after today. I don't think they need her.
I think the media spin. I think you're right. The media spin after this.
She's outlived her usefulness.
Yeah, she's not needed anymore. The media can take down Sanders at this
Washington,
point.
DC. The day you learn when you outlived your usefulness happens to everybody in that town. DC, Vegas, LA. It chews folks up and spits them on out. I don't know what it is about them cities, but they do.
So we're looking at Biden possibly with 100 delegate lead after tonight if things play out in his favor. We'll see how Texas ends up. But again, Maine, it's tilting way more towards Biden. Granted, that's only 24 delegates. Again, it's not a huge one.
ABC's updated their estimated delegates. Biden is now at 199. Sanders at 198. Warren at 12. Bloomberg still at 7.
So New York Times has got their estimated ending count. Biden still with a 50 delegate lead, 630 against 570. So He lost a little ground on that one, but I think some of that's out of Texas. I don't think they're really giving him much of a chance in California at all. So if he picks up any steam in California, that could really go his way.
Yeah, I thought we were going to be talking about Bernie all night, but like I said at the beginning of this show, this was the night the Democrats sobered up. They realized, like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, Democrats, let's get serious. Now let's figure out who's really gonna try to be president now. All right, it was fun. It was a fun party, but we're not gonna nominate someone who calls himself a socialist. I know, lefties. You really want to. I know, guys on the far left, you really want to just nominate a guy with the word socialist, but come on. We all know that's a wee bit self-indulgent. Come on, let's reel it back in. All right, Biden, come on. All right, you come on. You've worked in the past, you'll work now. It's like an old pair of shoes. We got to put you on one last time to get through the job. That's the way the Democrats
he is a worn out pair of sneakers, isn't he? Jesus Christ. Even Obama doesn't want to strap them shoes on anymore. Obama still hasn't endorsed anybody, has he? Was he wait until after Super Tuesday? Where's Obama today?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he waited until the actual convention. I was kind of waiting for an eventuality where Joe Biden becomes the vice president again. Like he's just running for the vice president slot again.
Is he running for his own vice presidency? Because with his gaffes and how out there he is right now, that wouldn't surprise me. He'll be up on stage tomorrow and be like, "Thank you all for all the votes, and we had a great Super Tuesday. I can't wait to be a vice president again."
I could if Warren would have done shockingly better, I could actually see her trying to get somebody like Biden as the vice presidential pick.
Well, yeah, that's Bernie, the only way she could bring the party together. Because
now
Democrats are they're like Bloods and Crips. They all hate each other right now. So
calling back, no, they're not like Bloods and Crips that hate each other. They're more like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan, who hated each other, but oh boy, we can't wait to get that infrastructure bill through. Yeah, that's really more how I see that.
Yeah, I don't know. Questions, comments, concerns, folks, tuning in. Add anything into the comments there as we go through here. So California is officially closed polls.
California closed.
Oh, yeah. No surprise, though. Bernie's going to take California. It's just how many delegates in California will he take is the real question. But how about how bad Warren's done? Like her home state of Massachusetts, she comes in third. Even her home state knows how fake she is.
Yeah, this could potentially end her Senate career that she did so badly in a statewide election. But now, Chicken. Bernie and Biden have both said that their vice presidential candidate is going to be a woman of color. And if that's the case, and if one of them picks Kamala Harris as their vice president, then I'm going to take it as a kind of right. My first prediction I made on your podcast was that Kamala Harris would be the nominee. I didn't anticipate her running one of the worst campaigns you could imagine, but if she still makes it on the ticket...
You said she would be a nominee, not on the ticket.
I win it, kinda.
No. You said she would be the nominee. Being on the ticket doesn't count as being a nominee.
She's a nominee on the ticket. That counts, mofo.
Unless it's on Biden's ticket, because we all know Biden can't make 4 years.
Hey, if that turns out to be the case, then do not worry, Dog and Chicken Show, and all of our many fans here. I do promise to use my powers of political clairvoyance for good, not evil. But so that's
seriously, whoever Biden picks as VP, if he were to win the general, would eventually be the president, because like and he's almost admitted that on stage, like during speeches he said, I have to be careful with my nominee or my VP, because I'm super old. Like, wait, why? Like, but what? Like, why are you running for president if you think you're gonna die in 4 years or can't run the country in 4 years? Like, that was just astonishing. He would say that, but at the same time, like now I'm like, it was kind of brilliant because everybody's sitting here going, I don't want Bernie and I don't want Warren. I don't want any of these people, but Biden isn't going to make it. So if we vote Biden in and he wins, we get a second chance. So let's see who he picks. So he's got to pick somebody dynamic. If he picks the right person, Democrats could show up because, like we've said in the past, it is about people showing up on election day. And he got a hell of a turnout. Like the how did he do this today? It's because people showed up to vote. Like this wasn't in the polls. This wasn't in any of the straw polls they had coming in or anything. They had no clue Biden was going to do this good today. If he picks the right VP, what do you think his chances are against Trump? If his VP is I don't think Kamala Harris is the person that would get people excited. I know you want your pick to win, but let's be real here. If you want to beat Trump and you're Biden, you know you have to pick somebody good. If you truly believe in 4 years, I might not be alive or competent, or he's barely competent today. Sorry, not trying to poke fun at Joe Biden, but let's be real.
It's fun though. And let's be honest, when you get into the public eye like this and you're running for president, get ready for some jokes being made about you. That means you've made it in this life, I suppose.
Right, but who would you pick? Who would you pick if you're Joe Biden and your presidential like aspirations, because he's failed at this how many goddamn times now, but it all hangs on who you pick. You don't pick anybody else that's running right now, right? Because they're all garbage. Obviously nobody wants them. Who's the crazy person you pull out of a hat? Hillary's not a good choice. I still think it's Michelle Obama.
God,
I still think it's Michelle Obama.
No, Michelle Obama. Wow. I don't know about that one. Maybe. I mean, it would certainly energize the base, but the safety pick is someone like Tim Kaine again, because you got Virginia on lock.
Tim Kaine? Really?
Hey, that's the safety pick for the Democrats for the next 10, 15 years.
That's a garbage. That's
Hillary
a garbage
Clinton,
pick.
you
That
have
doesn't
to
get
be
anybody
out of
excited.
your fucking mind if you think anybody is going to make Hillary Clinton their vice president. There is no life insurance policy on this earth that will cover you if you make Hillary Clinton your vice president. My God. Like, no, that's Michelle Obama as the vice president. You know, chicken, you crazy bastard. That might just be crazy enough to work. You know,
I know, right?
Oh, damn. Like, just in terms of entertainment value and how it's going to energize just the right base, that would be the one thing that would pull Trump's black voting polling numbers back. Like right now he's polling at like 16%, which is pretty high for a Republican. Michelle Obama's VP, yeah, no. That's dropping to about 3. So there's, yeah, damn. Now I don't think she's gonna do it personally.
There's a lot of chatter on you know on the interwebs and in some of the deep dark corners of places I don't like to go. That's what a lot of the people want.
In Texas, Biden's at 26% at 271,000. Bernie's at 29% with 298,000. So he's closing in fast, like under 30,000 votes in Texas. But sorry to interrupt, sir. But
no, all good. Got to throw in those updates. So what's Maine's at 50%? Looks like it's leaning more towards Biden still. That's only 24
Bloomberg
delegates,
has
though.
189,000 votes in Texas. What the fuck? That guy's gonna be able to say he walked like if he could say he has 1 million votes. That's all his ego needed in this life. But what the fuck?
Jesus.
108.
Yeah, so looks like New York Times is predicting Bloomberg will, if things keep going the way they are, Bloomberg will end up with 141 delegates.
Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me?
Which means that puts him in front of Warren. So it only cost him $464 million in 4 weeks to take out Warren.
All right, hang on one second.
So I think Warren took herself out. So
461 million
divide by 141.
141. So that cost Bloomberg $3,269,503 per delegate.
Way to go, delegates. Too bad you ain't seeing any of that.
Wow. Well, ABC's got Nate Silver desperately trying to, every time you're somebody that gives predictions, at the end of it, you're always like, all right, now let me try and do credibility damage control. Jesus Christ. I know you all thought the Oracle would predict the future perfectly. Shocker. Nobody can predict the fucking future, but I tried. Yeah, such a thankless job being a poller. Like Nate Silver's just out there just looking like I don't have the audio on, but just the body language is, I'm so sorry. Like,
yeah. So I just seen a tweet come through here.
And Rahm Emanuel's looking like a Mandarin bureaucrat. Yes.
Just a few minutes ago, a tweet comes through from journalists in California and Los Angeles. Very clear generational split in California right now. Biden is handily winning voters 50 and older, while Sanders dominated young voters under 49, according to exit polls. So we'll see what that means. So that would likely mean, Los Angeles County, San Diego, some of the bigger cities are likely going to lean more towards Bernie, surprise, and then some more of the
Northern California is going to go
for
Biden. San Fran is going for
San Fran's going for a unicorn. Like, that place is crazy.
Oh, I got some family out by that area. There's a few good folk.
But when I said unicorn, you're like, yeah, I could fucking picture that.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, California, we love you, California. I love California wines. You did elect the Terminator as the governor. So So
oh my
whenever
God.
people from California give the rest of the 50 shit, it's like, come on now, you had the Terminator as governor.
Let's get an update real quick on California. I got this pulled up here. It might be a little blurry on your screen, folks. I'm sorry. I'll try to read through here, but so Sanders. Sanders currently, now this is with only 12% of polls reporting. Sanders at 27% with 48 delegates already pledged. Bloomberg has 130,000 with 19% of the vote in. 0 delegates. I don't know how that works. Anyway, Biden in third with 17%, 120,000 delegates. And then Warren and Gabbard running out. But as you can see, that with those coming in, that this is not good news for Biden, because you look, San Francisco has not sent in anything. San Jose has not. Sacramento does have some in, but Bloomberg and Biden tied for second, and Sanders running away with it. LA County, nothing yet. And San Diego, Sanders handily taking so far. That's 38% in with 27%. Bloomberg, 18% in second place. So Bloomberg might pick up more delegates in California than Biden, the way this is looking. That's weird. That's crazy. But it's the money. It's the money. I'm telling you.
Oh Lordy, but Sanders walking away and certain. I'm sorry, I just like with my relations in California, I was just like, oh, no, sorry, Dad, can't hear you on the phone. Where you at? I'm at San. All right, sorry, gotta let you go. I mean, like San what? There's 28 Sands in California, so sorry, I was just having a little personal personal
Sure.
memory there, but yeah, NorCal is, I'm guessing, going to be Biden country, but NorCal's kind of used to SoCal
Didn't North
politically
California
telling them
want to
what to
split
do.
into their own state recently? Like, was that going to happen? We need that
Oh,
to happen.
that comes up every couple of years. And me personally, I'm kind of like the folks that, you know, Catalonia, they're always trying to get independence. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm American. If you want independence, have your independence. Why not? Fuck it, go for it. But we're not changing the number of stars on our flag. So California, if you want to make two states, I think you need to convince North and South Dakota to just become one state. You got to talk them into it. And sorry, that's part of the deal. I know it seems kind of messed up. Somehow, I don't think you're going to get East Virginia and West Virginia back together, and I don't think you get North and South Carolina together.
No.
Call me crazy. I think your best bet is the Dakotas.
Dakota is very possible. It's the same thing, North and South. Like, there's very few differences. Anyway, let's get an update on Texas right here with experience, folks. Okay, if you're a Dakota fan, sorry, it's exactly the same thing. It's all flat, windy, it sucks, and it's cold. So update on Texas real quick. Biden gaining ground again. Biden's at 27% to Bernie's 28. So Bernie had a 3% to 4% lead, and now it is shrunk to about 1.4% gap now. So gaining ground in there. Let's see. Dallas again still is for Biden. Houston's for Biden. We got Austin, San Antonio, and Fort Worth going to Bernie. But then here's all the rural areas popping up, and they're all dark blue, and the dark blue is Biden. And that's where Biden is starting to catch up on some of these. Let's see, the red ones, that's Bloomberg. These yellow ones,
Jesus.
I don't know why this is yellow.
Just Bloomberg. Really?
Yeah, is yellow on? Oh, yellows are ties. It looks like. I think King County, one person voted for Bloomberg, one person voted for Sanders. Everybody in that county just said, you know what? Fucking who cares?
Wow. So how many people voted in King County on the Democratic primary? How many in total?
According to CNN, two people, two Democrats in that entire county. And yeah, everybody else is this is fucking stupid.
Hard to say your vote doesn't count in that county for those two people. Like, wow, that's
yeah.
Man, if either one of them could have just convinced a spouse or sibling to come with them.
Yeah. Well, and that's what happened here. This looks like a spouse, a sibling, and a mistress. Maybe we got a Biden, Bloomberg, Sanders 1-1-1.
Wow. Yeah, not a lot of Democrats in the rural parts of Texas.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know.
And how much do you suppose is also the social pressure of, even if you're like, no, God, I don't want to be seen going to the polling place. Everybody will know I'm a Democrat. Like, yeah, it's.
Oh, yeah, that would be.
I got some
shameful.
kinfolk in Texas too, and trust me, that might be a thing.
I
got family all over the place, actually. I got family actually in 3 of the Super Tuesday states. So fascinating.
I'm looking to see if Warren won any counties, and I can't find one. She's a shade of blue between the light and the dark, but I just don't see one. I don't think Warren took anything, which isn't surprising in Texas. Let's be honest.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm sure that New York Times endorsement really helped her in Texas.
Yeah, probably not so much. Honestly, I don't know. Other than us on a podcast, because like you said, just like the Young Turks, we get all of our information from what everybody else is already streaming live. So
Yeah, I mean,
we got a
Turks,
leg up on Jake Ugert.
Yeah, the Young Turks in 2016, all they had was the screen that had CNN with the audio off, and they were just watching that, and that was where they were getting their results from. So here at the Dog and Chicken Show, we're at least as good as the Young Turks at this point. I mean, come on, easily.
Yeah, and I'm not sexually harassing my staff like Cenk Ugert. Maybe that's unfair. I don't
Allegedly.
know. Allegedly.
And I'm not running for Congress as a monument to my ego. So we still
yeah, I know. What is with his run for Congress? Like, he has caught so much shit since, like, did he not expect like a shit storm to fly his way as soon as he was like, I'm gonna run for Congress because I'm Cenk Ugert and I'm kind of hip and cool 10 years ago, and now nobody knows who the fuck I am, and like
I was kind of hip and cool 10 years ago. That's like a guy that misremembered what it was like in high school. Like, no. It's like, yeah, remember me? I was hip and cool 10 years ago. Like, no, you weren't. What?
Yeah.
Like, no.
It's like the Fast Times at Ridgemont High and all the jokes that come with it. Some of that shit's just outdated. Good God. Cenk Ugert's a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Ugert, I just 2015. Cenk Ugert.
What was it? What was the Occupy Wall Street? Like that was the height of the Young Turks right there.
Yep, there you go. That was their high water mark, as Hunter S. Thompson would say. You could see the high water mark, and then you could still see it after that high wave rolled back. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother. Everybody get. Okay, I'm getting off a little bit. But long story short, yes, we're giving you the livest updates we possibly can from what we consider fairly reliable sources, and not the Brian Seltzer show. But
what's wrong with Brian Stelter? Come on.
I mean, there was the Brian Seltzer Orchestra. I liked them. But jump jiving, then you wailing, and jump jiving, then you wailing.
Yeah, that's jiving. More entertaining than CNN. I'd agree.
Thank you, sir.
I'd watch you do that.
Right now, Virginia, they're giving that to the estimated delegates won tonight. 169 for Biden, 148 for Sanders, 7 for Bloomberg. Estimated delegates at this hour, according to ABC, they just changed it, but it's 222 for Biden at the moment. Which, damn, I thought we'd be, okay, 222 for Biden, 208 for Sanders, 13 for Warren, and they're still not budging. They are giving Bloomberg 7 and not a single more.
They don't want Bloomberg to get shit. So let's go back to
this is the first time I've ever almost supported a network with blatant candidacy. Said, like, we all know he's got more than 7, but at this point, like, no, fuck off, Bloomberg. Just go. Bloomberg's got 19% California right now. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's early. It's super early.
The fact that he has more than 2% at any point in California.
Calm down, Phil. That's what $500 million gets you. Dude, I can be bought off with a couple $1,000. Like, come on.
Duly noted.
Let's
Jesus,
be real.
Really? Bloomberg. Like, now granted, $500 million will get you something, but wow, I didn't think it would do this well. Folks in the comments, what do you think?
Yeah. God, I don't know what to think. I don't know what anybody should think. I do want to jump back real quick. We already showed this earlier tonight, but I want to bring it up again because I want to talk the seriousness and severity of the security we have around our presidential candidates. And if you weren't tuned in earlier, or maybe you missed part of it, I'm sorry if we're repeating this clip, but we were kind of laughing about it earlier, but the more I think about it, I remember my emotional reaction when I first seen it. I was watching Biden live just an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours ago. I was actually just got done talking to my wife on the phone, and then I start texting Phil, and I see Biden on stage, and he's like, "We're winning Massachusetts, we're winning this," and he's excited, and he actually seemed like a candidate at the moment. Like, he's super excited and pumped up. He's legible. I can understand what's going on. It's going well for him. And then these crazy protester chicks come up on stage screaming, yelling with signs. And all he's got, I think one was his wife. I don't know who the other lady was. And they like try to create a wall. Some other lady comes on stage before somebody's able to come up and pull these protesters off. But like, the fact that the security sucks so bad for Joe Biden, the former vice president for 8 years, Secret Service, like, do they not still get Secret Service? I know the presidents get it for life. I don't know if the vice president does, but at this point in a campaign, the person he is, the name recognition he is, where we're at in this country, and how crazy the world is, this is happening right now. Like, okay, here's the clip. I'll shut up. Here we go. This is what happened earlier.
And unions built the middle class. In the neighborhoods we come from, the three.
So I'm pausing. This is the first person that comes on stage. Okay, what if that was somebody that wanted to harm him?
Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts. I mean, thank God it was just some crazy. If I had to guess, if I had to bet, first bet, some sort of environmental protester. Second bet, some sort of immigration protester. Those are, if I was a betting man, I'd say probably something to do with the environment. Then after that, because at Joe Biden's closing remarks at one of the debates, people started interrupting him, and all we really heard was innocent people. That was it. That was all we heard, and they were immigration protesters.
So, but what if they wanted to inflict harm on him? Like,
yeah, he's lucky.
Let's be real. Like, those two gals, valiant effort of trying to distract and protect him. Like, but that's a terrible. That's got to be a terrifying situation for him and both of those ladies up there. Like, that's creepy. Because when I saw it on live TV, I was like, "What is that chick doing?" Like, that's not cool. But
this is not part of the entertainment,
right? But then this happens.
And we get a second run in. And we don't get to see what the sign says.
And a third female to come protect him. Where?
My God.
Where is Joe Biden's protection? Like, what the fuck was
these
that?
People off, apparently. That was concerning. And it's kind of like I said with Bernie Sanders supporters. For some reason, they seem to not respect him.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, they'll interrupt him. They'll take his microphone. They'll jump on stage when he's on stage. And I've noticed at Trump rallies, Trump supporters would never dream of doing such a thing. I don't know what you associate this phenomenon with, but on the left, I've noticed that, like, especially like, Bernie, I'm your biggest fan. You're sure not acting like it. You're sure not acting like a respectful fan of Bernie Sanders when you're interrupting his rally and taking his mic from him. And you're sure not acting like a fan of Biden. Now, who knows? I'm guessing these are people protesting against Biden in some form. Might be Bernie bros. That would be, oh boy. Dang, I should have put that one in. I'm putting that in as my number 3 bet is Bernie Bros.
That's where I wanted to go with this because we've seen it time and time again with anybody who's protesting towards Bernie, they are not afraid to act violent, and that's what probably worries me more than anything. Whether whether it's towards Biden or anybody, of course I don't want any violence. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I don't want any of that crazy shit happening on TV, let alone in the political discord. But when this hits to an actual election in the general election against Trump, shit can get real fast because that shit won't be tolerated. Like we could see some pretty nasty shit go down, and this could get really bad. And we talk about the Cold Civil War. I
was just going to bring that up, sir.
Oh, I could see if Bernie pulls this off, or either way, if Bernie pulls this off or doesn't pull this off, just the fucking insanity that some of these people can bring out, it's gonna get bad. There's a potential. I'm not gonna say it's gonna get bad. There is a potential shit gets really crazy depending on how this plays out and how this goes. If they can't unite that Democratic Party, because there's 2 factions. Let's don't get it twisted. There's 2 factions. You got normal, sane, moderate Democrats that me and you would associate with and hang out with and talk to, drink beer with, and get along on a lot of things and have a good time. And then there's these crazy sons of bitches that'll grab a club and hit you in the back of the head because you said, hey, I kind of like what Trump said the other day.
Yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. And it's why I've always framed it in the Cold Civil War. And this election, regardless, like you said, if Biden takes it, it's going to take an interesting direction. If Bernie takes it, it's going to take another interesting direction. God, what do you think what do you think the likelihood of, I don't think Bernie would run third party if he felt he got screwed, that he just endorsed the candidate again and move on. But
yeah, he's a coward. He did that last time. He backed out and endorsed Hillary when he should have fought his ass off after he found out he got screwed by the DNC. But no, Bernie's a coward. He doesn't stand up for himself because you see what happened to Biden right there? That's happened to Bernie about like 30 goddamn times, and he's done nothing about it other than saying, oh, no, don't take the microphone. That's the most he's ever done about it. Otherwise, he just is like, oh, take the stage. Have my microphone. You take over. Like, that's
quote
Bernie.
Conor McGregor, you'll do fucking nothing.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. But
it's weak. It's weakness. And when you come off looking weak in American society, no matter where you're at, and if you like butterflies, rainbows, and yoga, cool, good for you. But I want to survive, and if I want somebody to lead me to survival, I want somebody who's got a little bit of balls. Bernie has no balls. Biden might have. He's old, but Biden might have some balls. But Trump, he's got the biggest balls of all. That's for sure.
That's sometimes there's balls and brains. It's which one do you let lead you? Some will say that's not a good way to do it, but yes, you're right. There is a certain aspect where there has to be Trump has a certain alphaness to him that even when he's being handed very toxic questions, he'll kind of just swerve around them. And it's something that's perplexed a lot of his critics. It was like I was telling you a few episodes ago when he got the question from Megyn Kelly in the first debate, and he says, Mr. Trump, you've said horrible things about women, and it's a toxic question. And he immediately turns it around and only about Rosie O'Donnell, and just whole crowd erupts. They love it, and Trump completely defuses this toxic question.
Meanwhile, Michael Bloomberg goes, well, they signed an NDA.
Yeah, I mean, they signed an NDA, and there's a NDA is a sacred document in America that can never be released from. Can we move on? Boy, it's getting warm in here. So yeah, that was Michael Bloomberg. That was what ended him. That's why I'm shocked he has delegate 1. Was Elizabeth Warren's takedown. I disagree, Chicken. I think that Elizabeth Warren's takedown of Bloomberg will go down in history as even worse than Chris Christie's takedown of Marco Rubio in a debate, even though that one was just brutal and uncomfortable to watch. And we were like, oh no, Chris, oh man, Marco Rubio's like flopping like a fish out of water now. Oh no, now he's gasping for air.
All right, now you got to remind the folks at home what you're talking about there.
Chris Christie in the Republican presidential debates in the primaries in 2012, he took down Marco Rubio as a senator. Chris Christie was a governor, Marco Rubio is a senator. He goes, well, Marco, you're a senator. You've never had to make a life-altering or a decision where people's lives were on the line ever once in your life. Can you point to one time you've ever had to make a decision where someone's life was on the line? And Marco couldn't do it, and he just flopped and floundered like a fish out of water on stage for a while until just, and that was it. And that was the end of his political ambitions as president. He was out shortly thereafter.
Yeah, now he's like a pundit. Like
yeah, Chris Christie just verbally stomped his political career into non-existence. So that one was pretty bad, but Elizabeth Warren somehow, with about 3 minutes of TV time, just called it an airstrike on $500 million of Michael Bloomberg's money. It was pretty impressive. So I think that one has to go down as the all-time greatest political takedown in a debate. Warren to Bloomberg. Well done, miss. I will say, ma'am, I raised my glass to you on that one. That was impressive. My God.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't see it coming. And your joke was, as we played that one before, your joke was Mike Bloomberg sitting there going, didn't I pay enough money not to have to answer these questions? Like
I paid $500 million. I mean, what are if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? Questions. Come on. Like, how much do you love America, Michael? I paid $100 million for that question. What's this shit? And yeah, our cartoon president put it pretty good. Like, Michael Bloomberg, now come on, the senators got me all wrong. I've released more women from NDAs than any other candidate on this stage. It's like, oh, Mike, no. Like, yeah, that is not how Trump would have handled that at all. But
yeah,
it would have just been like, nope, they said deal's a deal, don't care. And he wouldn't have gone back to it at all, ever.
So I haven't pre-screened this, so I'm assuming this has some of that footage in there. This is a 3-minute clip. Let's jump in there.
I was 21 years old. I got my first job as a special education teacher. I loved that job. And by the end of the first year, I was visibly pregnant. The principal wished me luck and gave my job to someone else. Pregnancy discrimination, you bet. But I was 21 years old. I didn't have a union to protect me, and I didn't have any federal law on my side. So I packed up my stuff and I went home. At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it. The way that Mayor Bloomberg
never said that.
Have said to one of his pregnant employees. People want a chance to hear. People want a chance to hear from the women who
I never said that.
I want to allow the mayor
for the record, if she was a teacher in New York City, she would never have had that problem. We treated our teachers the right way, and the unions will tell you exactly that.
Well, Mayor Bloomberg, Senator Warren has raised.
Let us have the women have an opportunity to speak. The Bloomberg corporations and Mayor Bloomberg himself have been accused of discrimination. They are bound by non-disclosures so that they cannot speak. if he says there is nothing to hide here, then sign a blanket release and let those women speak out.
At the last debate, you said some of your female employees might not have liked some of your jokes. Did these women take your jokes wrong, or were you wrong to make the jokes?
Probably wrong to make the jokes. I don't remember what they were, so I assume if it bothered them, I was wrong, and I apologize. I'm sorry for that. But what happened here is we went back 40 years, and we could only find 3 cases where women said they were uncomfortable. Nobody accused me of doing anything other than just making a comment or two. And what the senator did suggest was that we release these women from the non-disclosure agreement. I did that 2 days later, and my company has said we will not use non-disclosure agreements ever again. The senator has got it, and I don't know what else she wants us to do.
Oh, I'll be
We're
clear.
following exactly
And
what
then he
she
says,
asked
what
to
does
do.
he want me to
And
do? And leaves it wide open for, my God.
He is like the
in terms of
worst
persuasion, this is-
politician ever.
Yes, in terms of persuasion, this is an awful performance. Like, yeah, I always bring up.
Here's what I
persuasion
pictured
as-
happen. Mike Bloomberg was like, "Hey, we're gonna get rid of that non-disclosure agreement. Here's another $2 million in a private contract. Shut your fucking mouth."
Yeah, I'm going to release you from that non-disclosure agreement, but here's another $500,000 for you to immediately sign another non-disclosure agreement. I released them from that non-disclosure agreement. That non-disclosure agreement, I certainly very much did release them from.
Okay, now what more do you want from me?
Don't end it like I'm sorry, that just sounds like a whiny husband. Like I'm saying, what do you
Oh,
want
wow, it
from me?
does.
Like
That's
it
a
just
good-
sounds
that's
like
good.
I don't know, like sounds like a little whiny beta husband. Like it's just the like
All right, we got like a less than a minute left of this. Let's finish it up.
Trouble is, with this senator, enough is never enough.
Senator Warren, that is a very serious charge that you leveled at the mayor. Yeah, told a woman to get an
Again,
abortion. What
whiny
evidence
husband.
do you have of that?
Enough is never enough with you.
Mayor Bloomberg, could you respond to this?
I never said it. Period. End of story.
Look.
Categorically, never said it. When I was accused of doing it, we couldn't figure out what she was talking about. But right now, I'm sorry if she heard what she thought she heard or whatever happened. I didn't take any pleasure in that, and
right.
we've just got to go on. But I never said it. Come on.
Is to do a release of all people who have
We
discrimination
are doing that, Senator.
claims, who have
want to get
discrimination-
Now this.
Bloomberg's at a campaign event for some reason, and behind him on ABC, he's standing on stage, and there's someone just holding a big sign that just says "Women." They just have women. That's it. Like there's 3 of them with these pink signs that just say "Women," and maybe something really tiny under it, but it just says "Women."
Give me a
It's
marker.
like,
Give me a marker, and I can do this.
women. Yeah. Like, oh God, do it. I mean, God knows they're probably getting paid very well.
Fuck yeah, they are.
I mean, like for each pink sign I'm seeing, probably at least $1,500 a pop.
Oh God, it's disgusting. You're probably right. They probably get paid
California
way more than
Sanders
that.
at 28 as they just changed it a second ago on ABC, but Sanders is leading at 28% in California. Last they showed.
Oh, let's get some
Oh,
updates
God.
here
How
for
this-
for those. We got tons of viewers right now. I think there's a whopping 2.
Hey,
But
welcome to the show, everybody.
yeah,
Come on.
we've had a couple hanging out with us for a while, so I appreciate that.
Thank you, folks.
So what I'm showing right now, let me get this pulled up on the screen again. I apologize, it is a little blurry since we're doing this live. I'm going to try to optimize
And we appreciate
this a
you
little
being
bit
with
better.
us. It's a little experiment here on the Dog and Chicken Show. And anytime we can reach out to our vast fan base within the KOE Nation and the Dog and Chicken Show Nation, we welcome you. And if you got any questions, please comment. Right now, it looks like Maine, Biden ahead by 1%, 84% of expected votes reporting, 34% Biden, Sanders 33%. What do you
Yeah.
got in Texas?
So Texas, I got pulled up on the screen here. So not much change. So it's still within that 2% margin between Biden and Sanders, but Biden showing a lead now, 30.1% according to CNN, and Sanders at 28.3.
Biden's leading in Texas?
As of this moment, according to CNN, with 50% of the polls reporting, Biden is now in the lead in Texas.
Wrap it up. Like, I mean, if he can take Texas and California tonight, I mean, I don't know about California, but if he can take Texas, and that's right now, California, Sanders at 28, Bloomberg at 19, Biden at 17%, Warren at 20. Sanders right now is 384,000 votes, Bloomberg 257,000 votes, Biden 227,000 votes.
I don't think Biden.
Bloomberg's getting what he is.
There's a lot of time to go in California. Let's be honest. There's a lot more to go there. We're at 25% in, but
Warren does have a respectable 160,000 votes in California. Yeah. You know, hey, it's more votes than I got in California tonight, so I'll give her that.
That's for sure. Let's see. We talked about Texas already. You mentioned Maine. Let's pop in. Maine's not a big deal, but we'll take a look at it anyway.
I figured that was gonna be Warren. Honestly,
I thought it would be too. But it looks like it's within 2,000 votes.
Yeah. ABC's reporting Biden ahead in Texas as well. So,
yeah, this is getting interesting. I wonder. Let me jump over to my
Joe
fun
Biden's
little screen here.
Let's 28 delegates. Bernie Sanders at 213, Elizabeth Warren at 13, and Mike Bloomberg with a whopping 8. Holy shit, Bloomberg! Any fucking minute now, man, you're gonna fucking slide right into that fucking nomination. You and all 8 delegates.
I got it pulled up. I got it pulled up on the screen here, Phil. So this is the predictions from New York Times. This is what the screen is showing right now. Biden is predicted at this moment, if things keep going the way they are, which it shows now, Texas with 58% polling in is leaning towards Biden. They're almost ready to give Texas to Biden with. So what that means when it's leaning like that, that means they have counted most of the heavily Democratic areas, and the only things that are left are Biden leaning counties. So there is a good chance Biden could take Texas. It's not over. They haven't called it for him yet, but there is a really good chance. Just like we look at this and we see pretty likely Sanders in California with only 20% counted. That's kind of California's going to eventually go to Sanders. But this is the interesting one, is this Texas meter has been bouncing back and forth all night. Even before we started this podcast, this thing has just been nuts, back and forth. But now this is the farthest I've seen it leaning towards Biden. This could be a good sign for him. The main meter, that's the farthest it's leaned towards Biden.
39% reporting as of right now. So God, Sanders better really hope there's a lot of like places like Austin and such that aren't reporting very much, because he's going to.
We need a recount. We're going to need a recount because the millionaires and the billionaires bought everything, and they screwed up the polling, and they stopped people from getting out the vote. We need a recount. We need a recount in Austin.
Oh, he will eventually bend the knee and do as told, like he did last time. Don't even pretend.
Yep. And that's why people aren't voting for him this time.
You know, like I said at the beginning, and I'll say it a third time because God damn it, it's a good joke. Tonight was the night the Democrats sobered up, and it was a little long overdue because, my God, I mean.
Well, and Phil, while they sober up, I will have a toast to the entertainment that is the Democratic Party right now. A former member of myself left the party long ago with the disappointments of Obama's first term. Gladly left became an independent and now actually a registered Republican. I skipped the libertarian bullshit because, well, I saw the weird guy in the wizard hat. So, um,
Vermin Supreme.
Yes.
That guy was fucking awesome. He's but yeah, yes, a toast, sir.
So let's talk about libertarians real quick.
Who's gonna be the fucking poor
It doesn't
sack
matter.
they're gonna put up this time around, you think?
Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't
matter.
It's always kind of funny. It's
No,
like,
you know what's funny? How many like staunch libertarian people do you know?
Oh God, there was a time in my life when I knew one very, very well, and it was me.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. And you eventually leave it because there's no faith in that party. First off, second, the party is based on Republican beliefs for the most part, with a couple liberal thoughts, which you can still have as a Republican. But like today's libertarian and I've caught a little shit from this from family members that of mine that are libertarian, but today's libertarian is somebody who and this is just a generalization. This isn't every libertarian. Some of the people-
Generalize away, sir. We're not going to do the Joe
Right.
Rogan. But is that like every libertarian that ever
Oh, gee,
was
you have to.
all history?
You have to fucking proclaim it though, because everybody just is like, this is my problem with libertarians is they get offended like a Democrat does. They can't differentiate themselves from who I'm talking about. This is not towards everybody, but if you were to look at the group of people that you associate with and that you agree with, 90% of them are holier than thou, smarter than everybody else, and will just be keyboard warriors that fight keyboard warriors with the Constitution. And it's not with real thought, it's not with real conviction. It is, I looked up this and this is legal, this is constitutional, and this is law. So I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you. And then they attack you instead of saying, hey, how about being a decent human being? No matter what the law says, no matter what the Constitution says, yeah, you're probably right on paper, but we all know shit's not black and white. And that's what I don't like about libertarians today is shit is black and white and there's no room to go, hey, yeah, I get it. The Constitution says this. However, I'm not an asshole. So let's talk about this. That's not a libertarian thought anymore. That used to be. It used to be 10 years ago. That was a libertarian thought. Now it is, oh, fuck you. The Constitution says you can't do that. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's right here. It's right here. Read it. Read it. You want to read it word for word? I'll pull it up in Webster's dictionary and define these fucking words for you because I'm fucking cool like that. That's a libertarian today. And I'm fucking done with them.
As one matures in this life, they must find the best route that will balance the scales between ideology and practicality. And the devout libertarians, I always noticed on the forums I would frequent and on the intellectual circles that I would talk with, those many moons ago, that was a big problem. They were not able to balance the way the world they think should be versus the way the world is. It's the classic is-ought dichotomy, which is so misunderstood. But that's my biggest complaint that I've always noticed, and just personally, is that the is-ought dichotomy is just something that we weren't ever able to overcome. I do have some libertarian sympathies and some libertarian leanings. There is a
absolutely. Me too.
In an individual's day, there is a point in your day where you should have no further business with the state. Like here we are at the end of our day, having a few drinks over a podcast, and I'm sure there is some Mandarin beetle bureaucrat in some bureau that is offended horribly by something that we're doing in this very moment.
Sure.
And that's where libertarians' primary observation that all government structures of power should be questioned and at some points curtailed has a lot of validity to it. But again, it's the how do you weigh your ideology and your idealism with practicality in the world?
Yeah, I like how you put that, the practicality piece of it, because there is human emotion, there's human thought, and it's like something that gets erased because somebody put it on pen and paper. Some guy, hundreds of years ago wrote this shit down, so that is all there is, and there is nothing more. And then when you pose an intriguing question or dilemma or situation that may cause confliction with those particular writings, they get all flustered and say, no, just go back to the writing, just go back to the writing. And there's no outside thought process. There's no critical thinking skills that go involved anymore. And they just go back to litigation and prior law and prior decisions that they are not making. And that's probably what upsets me the most is it's not a free thinking group anymore. It used to be the Tea Party movement and what they used to be libertarians 10 years ago was a free thinking movement. And as much as I love Ron Paul, I blame him for part of the group we have today because they were the idiot Republicans that Republicans didn't want. And they jumped ship and went to the libertarians because they're like, we were just looking for a Bible. And now we have the Bible, and it's the Constitution, the Federalist Papers, and it's everything wrote down. I don't have to think for myself anymore. It's right here for me. And I don't have to amend these, even though they're called amendments. I never have to adjust to them or adjust anything about them. And I just live my life this way, and that's it. It's so black and white, and it's gross.
If we were all Vulcans, then
all right, let's go Star Trek on this.
No, you already
now we're pulling. Now we're gonna pull those. We're gonna pull those fuckers back to the Republican Party if we talk about fucking Star Trek too much.
If we were all Vulcans, and yes, a kind of libertarian purity ethic would work seamlessly. There'd be no problems with that if we were like Vulcans, if you were. But human, like I will always quote a really good economist, Milton Friedman. He said, "Nirvana is not for this world. You will not create a perfect utopia upon this planet. There will always be strife. There will always be peril. There will always be suffering. There will always be problems." And so that's something to keep in mind. Like, yes, there is the possibility to make this perfect utopian government, but at what cost? So libertarian, I have a lot of like I said, in the social areas, I have a lot of leanings that direction. But I also understand like they're God, it's always funny at the libertarian convention when it's election night, it looks like everybody's cleaning up. Oh, Bloomberg still ain't won a state yet. Oh, shucky darn.
Yep, he is not going to. Let's see. Updates. We got Maine, 66% in, leaning towards Biden still. Texas, 61% in. Biden's still gaining ground there. I guess let me try to pull up Texas because that's the big one in question right now. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Texas is looking like it's pulling away for Biden from everything I've seen. I'll let you know as soon as they pull something up for Texas again, but it's okay. Biden's at 30, Sanders at 28, Biden at 403,000, Sanders at 374,000. Biden's pulling away with this shit, man.
Here it is on the screen for you folks just tuning in and watching.
228 delegates for Biden, 213 for Sanders, 13 for Warren, 8 for Bloomberg, and 1 for Tulsi. Hey, Tulsi, welcome to the scoreboard.
Yes, yes. So got Texas pulled up on the screen here. According to CNN, this is the current results where Biden is still in the lead, which recently switched about 20, 30 minutes ago. Biden overtook Sanders in Texas. He has Houston now and Dallas, while Sanders has Fort Worth, Austin, and San Antonio. But the big overwhelming piece here is we start looking at all of these black counties, which are the ones that have no counts in yet. We can pretty much guess all of these up here will more than likely go to Biden. Some of these closer to the border, I'm assuming are going to go to Sanders, depending on population. Uh, so we'll see how this shakes out. But Texas is going to be close. It's going to be really close.
No, it's not. As much as I'd say Biden's gonna take that shit, man.
I think he's
Holy
going to take
fuck.
it, but I still think it's going to be
Sanders is well ahead in California, 410,000 with 29. Bloomberg with 200 and some odd thousand with 19%. Biden's not even in contention, Cali.
Yep, he's at 17% with 248,000. That's 26% in. Let's see, LA County, only 19% in, but Biden in third place. San Jose, Biden third place, well behind, big time, with 40% nearly in. San Francisco has it says 0% in, but large city, of course.
If San Fran ain't reported in shit, Bernie ain't even got to worry about Cali. When San Fran reports, like, you'll be lucky to find 3 people that voted for Biden. Like, oh my God. Maybe Sausalito has some Biden voters, but other than that, it's Bernie.
Yeah, not a lot of Biden support in California. The counties that he is winning are small counties and not going to count a lot. Bloomberg is doing better in California overall with 18.6% of the vote, while Biden's at 18.1. We'll see how this plays out. Only 27% of the votes in at this time. CNN calls 250 delegates at the moment for Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders at 213. So we'll see how this goes. I'm curious. Let's get an update on what New York Times is thinking. Let's refresh this bad boy here and get rid of the dumb banner that pops up. So not much change. New York Times still says they predict 648 going to Biden and 578 going to Bernie.
Damn. I really thought we were going to be talking about Bernie's commanding lead. I thought he was going to take, I thought he was at least going to take Oklahoma. He took it last time.
Let's look at this here real quick. So if this plays out and say Biden does have this 50 to 60, 70, 80 delegate lead, and Bloomberg does come out with that 130, and we talked, what's the chances of Bloomberg pulling out of this? What if Bloomberg, we already got Buttigieg, we already got Klobuchar, like if Bloomberg joins the Biden ticket and pushes those delegates that way? Sanders is done, dude.
Yeah, Sanders is done. Sanders is going to have to try to convince Bloomberg for, oh man.
He's going to have to, Sanders has to beg Bloomberg and Warren. Both of them. He's got to beg both of them. It's the only way he can, that's the only way he can survive. He's got to beg both of them for their support.
Wow. I don't think he's going to get any of them.
And all of this for 2 old sons of bitches that can't win. Way to go, Bloomberg, spending $500 million and wasting it. No matter how this plays out, it's probably Bernie's not going to give up. If he does, he will be labeled as the worst presidential candidate ever in the history of the Democratic Party. He will have ruined the Democratic Party in a way. I kind of hope he does, because some of these people need to have their dreams crushed, because Bernie Sanders is a coward and everybody needs to know it. We'll find out how that goes out. Anyway, if Bernie doesn't, he tries to fight through this, if he does, it's the end of the Democratic Party. They are going to have to part ways. What's the good that can come out of this, Phil? If the Democratic Party splits in two, do we make 3 parties in this country then? Because I've been clamoring for more political parties. I fucking hate this 2-party system. I want a moderate party. I just despise the left. I'm a little bit more right leaning, but I'm pretty middle. I'm close to the goddamn middle on a lot of things. What is, like, why are we just like way over here and way over here, and then we all just fight for the middle ground all the goddamn time? Is
Well,
thoughts? I don't know. I'm talking too much.
There's, I don't mean to depress you here, but according to some polling that I've seen over the last few years, we kind of have this amazing disappearing, non-existent moderates. Everybody thinks like, oh, there's all these moderates and these people in the middle.
Because we're fucking lazy drunk.
Polling, not when you look at the polling data. The polling data shows you that we have gotten more divisive on more topics over the last 20 years. So we're.
I don't know why I'm still sharing my screen. Sorry about that, folks.
No, it's all right. But yeah, we're just a more divisive people. We don't share as many common views as we did 20 years ago. That's just the way it is. And anybody that tries to fracture off into new parties, all you're doing is, in essence, handing your enemy the presidency for 20 years. That's the way it would be. Like if the Republicans would have broken off into the Republicans and the Tea Party, Trump would have never gotten in. If Bernie fractures off from the Democrats are, if Bernie fractures off and says, we're doing the new Democratic Socialist Party, Republicans are going to be the main presidential power for another 15 years. So that's why it never gets done, because it is a bit of political gamesmanship, but also, Chicken, not to depress you, but there's not that many moderates out there. It's a lot of people like to think they're moderates, but if you were to actually go over their voting records, it doesn't really look that way.
No, most of them, I don't think that they're not moderates. I think most people, when you sit down and talk to them, they're actual moderates. However, a lot of them are uninformed. And that's what I typically find is when, you find somebody who's like, oh, Donald Trump's such a disgusting person. Be like, well, why is he a disgusting person? Oh, well, he did this and this and this. Okay. Well, no, actually he didn't. And that's made up. He did say that one thing on the bus. But the rest of that shit didn't happen. They made that up and exaggerated a lot of that. Oh, prove it to me. And then I show him. Oh, really? I'm like, this is why he says fake news. Like, that's why this clip,
fake news,
is so fucking popular. Because it's true. So it's so tiresome though that you have to do that. And then I feel like I'm sticking up for Trump. And it's not that I hate Trump. I like a lot of what he's doing, but it's frustrating to me that like people are so just ill-informed, don't look for it, and just go about their day-to-day and it's like they just keep running into these stupid they're nets of stupid. They run into this net and they just get covered with stupid. They just like, I don't know what all this is. CNN? MSNBC? Oh, okay. This just must be how things are now. And they just keep walking. None of them like pull it off and go, what the fuck is this? That's frustrating to me. That was a weird analogy. So real quick before we move on, got a couple of updates and tweets here I got coming in. While Texas and California trickle in, the easternmost state, Maine, is still counting votes, with 2/3 of the state reporting Biden is a slim lead over Sanders.
Not by much.
Yeah, it's close. Here's some interesting ones. In California, 55% of Latinos voted for Sanders, while 21% to Biden, and 8% went to Bloomberg and Warren. So it looks like Bernie's got the Hispanic vote at this moment. Bloomberg, I'm not going to go into that one because that one's dumb. Most of the counties Bloomberg won is very low population counties. That's not relevant. Black voters turned out for Biden in Texas. This is how Biden is winning in Texas. That's how he won in South Carolina and how he's winning in Texas. Texas voters turned out for Biden in Texas. Biden outperformed Sanders among black voters in the state 60% to 17, according to exit polls. 60% to 17. That is huge. I'm just gonna call Texas for Biden right now. If that is actually a true stat, I know exit polls are crazy, but if that is true, dude, I think Biden takes Texas.
Yeah. Man, Sanders just was never able to really capture the black vote. His socialist message just never really resonated. Biden just, I wonder if it really was just that Obama rub. What do you think it was?
I don't know.
Oh, chicken, your reluctance to talk about the black vote is just like it's delicious. You can just drizzle it on.
No, I'm really trying to think about it because I'm surprised on the black vote in general, because like the massive support Trump is getting out of the black vote versus what we're seeing happen on the Democratic Party. You're starting to see the black vote starting to separate a little bit, kind of like you do the Democratic Party, which scares me a little bit because that's a little bit of a tearing apart of a fragile community sometimes, depending on where you're at. Where we've seen a lot more black conservatives really coming up today. You got the Hosgin twins, is that right? Am I getting that one right?
Diamond and Silk.
Yeah. They're comedians.
Shout out to Diamond and Silk,
conservative comedians. They're funny. But you see in more and more. Blaze TV's got a guy on there. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm not a huge fan of him, but like he's really popular. You're seeing more and more black conservatives coming up through the ranks right now, and we see the following starting to trend with that. As I think a lot of Black, African American, whatever. I'm not a big term name person, but you're starting to see people waking up to the fact that the Democratic Party is not the party of that group. Like, it's just not. It never has been. They've pretended to be, but they've always held them back and created terrible programs that just held them back socially, economically. And I think that's been exposed at a certain level, and I think it's growing to a certain extent. So like, as much as we want to talk about the black vote on the Democratic side, I think if this continues and this trend that we're seeing in the last 10 years continues to slide to the Republican piece, I think the black vote is going to be more of a Republican stance in the future. Like, am I wrong? What do you think?
We'll see. I mean, like you predicted earlier, if they do something like Michelle Obama as vice president, it's gonna be tough.
That's how they save it. That's how they save it for 10 more years. But
But yeah, I mean, I remember Britt Hume was speaking at the 2016 election, and he was astounded that in 2016, whites actually acted like a proper voting bloc for the first time in its history. And it was kind of a fascinating thing. And, you know, blacks have always been the black vote has always been a very loyal vote to the Democratic Party. I don't see that shifting this particular time around. Donald Trump does not poll well with black voters. Just he doesn't. Like black men is his best, and I think he's barely scraping along double digits. So,
which is still pretty good though. Can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, compared to like George W. Bush or HW or
most recent Democrats average around what 7-8%.
Republicans.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what. And the Hispanic vote, on the other hand, has been coming out for Sanders. His message has been resonating. That, and I think, there's just a better feeling that he will represent them for whatever reason. I don't know what his campaign's been looking like in those states, but I don't know what his California campaign, what his Texas campaign, but they have been coming out in droves for Sanders. Shockingly. Not so much in Florida, though. His Castro comments kind of ensured that.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get some more updates here. So not much has changed on total delegate counts and thought process there. Still looking at Maine and Texas. Looks like Maine more than likely will go to Biden at this point. They're almost ready to call that one. 70% of precincts in. Really good chance Biden has that. Again, not a lot of delegates, so not a big deal. Texas continuing to lean to Biden. Let's see here if I can't pull up Texas on our.
I'm having a hard time seeing a path forward to the Sanders campaign if Texas goes to Biden.
Yeah. It does get difficult. So we got 60% of the precinct in. Let's share our fun little map here. So 65% of precincts in. Oh, Biden jumped big. So now Biden's 31.1 against the 28.5. So over 2% lead now for Biden, which that's a significant jump. That's a 2.6% gap. You're starting to see a lot of dark blue across the state there. Not good news for Sanders. That's for sure. Most of these black states, like these little black boxes here, most of those are going to turn dark blue. Most of those are going to go to Biden. I feel good calling this for Biden right now.
Yeah, I hate to say it, unless what's Austin County's? Can you find Austin on there?
So Austin has 72% in. It's not going well for Biden there, but it's 72% in.
Yeah, that was my only saving grace for what's Sanders doing in San Fran in Cali, if you'd be so kind. Because I think
that's gonna be a shit show.
I'm comfortable calling this Texas for Biden at this point. It's a little premature, but
Biden's doing terrible in San Fran. Now, granted, this is less than 1%.
Does he have 1,000 votes even?
Yes, he has 5,000 with less than 1% in.
What's Sanders got?
Sanders is at 30% with 16,000 votes.
Okay, with 1%. Yep, that's going about how I thought it would be. Boy, that's gonna really give Sanders the runaway on California. But Bloomberg's
doing strong in California. He's doing
better
than Biden.
Votes from both of them.
All the big cities, he is doing well.
Yeah, I'd say he's pulling votes from both guys.
Biden in San Jose is taking the lead Oh, tied for the lead in San Jose, Santa Clara County. Biden with 30,000 votes, 44% in, but he's neck and neck with Sanders.
250 for Biden, 224 delegates for Sanders, 16 for Warren, still 8 for Bloomberg.
Let's see what our live forecast update. Not much change. 649 versus 578 is the estimated count by the end of this whole shebang. So
Sanders could only take 3 states as of right now on Super Tuesday, and it looks like he's gonna get 4, but that might be it. I'm sorry, but I just don't see a path forward. He needed Texas. He needed Texas to say he had a chance.
If he wanted to seal the deal, and again, going in tonight, everybody thought he was going to be 100 to 200 delegates ahead. Now he's looking at being 50 to 100 delegates behind. I think this is a wake up call for the Sanders camp here. No matter how this shakes out, even if he's not that far behind, it looks like Biden's going to be ahead. No matter how this shakes out, it looks like Biden's going to be ahead. And when I go in, if I go into let's picture this. I'm going into a football game and I have the betting odds favorite of beating Phil's ass and his team. Phil's team is coming in. Oh, I know. Here we go. The KO edition. No, now hold on. Phil's coaching the team. I'm coming in with Vegas odds of I'm just gonna smash him. Like I'm gonna have a spread of 21 points. That's what I'm supposed to beat Phil by. That's an ass kicking. And then Phil comes in, and whether he beats me by 3 points or 21 points, it doesn't matter. It's just as embarrassing because I was supposed to win by 21. And that's where Sanders is right now, is he was supposed to win by 21, and now Biden might win by 21.
But sir, losing to the great Phil KOE is no
stop comparing to yourself. You're supposed to go on with the analogy.
I mean, but it's no point of shame to lose the great Phil KOE. You, amongst many others, have done it many times before, so it happens. It happens. But back to politics here, sir. At this hour, looks like 251 for Biden, 229 for Bernie, 16 for Warren. Boy, Bloomberg just still there at
7. 8. Oh, he went up to 8. Congratulations,
yep,
Bloomberg.
He's got 8. So.
Let's have a toast to Bloomberg for his 8.
For your another electoral vote.
It still costs $3 million per electoral vote so far.
I was about to say we'll redo the math here in a bit.
Each delegate costs over $3 million so far, but cheers. Congratulations, Mr. Mike.
Oh, it's got to be more than that. I think I might have done the math wrong.
You know what? If you take the 3 million plus all the NDAs, and then the second group of NDAs after Warren made him re-sign them, like I wonder how much each of those delegates cost now.
Oh, each delegate that he got, just each individual delegate, cost him $60 million a delegate.
Fuck.
400.
So that's the ones he's gotten so far. But if he gets, because California, he's gonna get some. He's gonna get some delegates out of California. Let's not be
$60 million a delegate. My God. So.
It's better than how he started the night, because he started the night with 3, and I was like, holy shit, he paid like $120 million a delegate. Like,
well, considering he was paying $50 million to fund his gun control organization, this is just, and I'm a libertarian-minded guy on that regard. Money that he can't spend on infringing on people's rights. So hey,
yeah.
Money well spent as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't remember what the original math was that gave us $3 million per whatever, but oh God. I think it was money he spent per district or something. But yeah, he's spent $60 million per delegate as it count. But wait, that's when we broke down when it became the 144 that he's projected to win. Which that's still like $3 million fucking over $3 million a delegate. My God. So Nate Silver's back on ABC, like looking very conciliatory and chastened. And oh my God, please don't ask me too many questions. Can I get my money and leave now? Like that,
yeah.
Well, George Stephanopoulos, he's there just happy he's got a job.
Well, I think George Stephanopoulos is always just happy as a job. Knowing how terrible he's been in the past. He's done okay at times, but I think that's fair. Just be happy you have a job.
Yeah. That's whenever I see an actor on a movie that I haven't seen in years, like, oh, that guy. Well, I'm just happy they can find work.
I think some of the fascinating things I'm seeing, because I'm jumping between CNN, MSNBC, Fox has been super fast to just like call it out way ahead of time tonight. Like when a state, they're like, nah, fuck it, that one goes to Bernie. Nah, fuck it, that one goes to Biden. They'll call it like an hour and a half, 2 hours before anybody else will, and it's actually been pretty funny because we see the dramatization between CNN and MSNBC. But then I look at, let's just pull this up real quick, just for a quick comparison, because it shows current delegate counts for MSNBC and where they show. Jesus. So they show Biden with 355 and Sanders with 299. Now, you would think this would be pretty close, right? When I switched to CNN. 252 to 215.
Well, CNN's waiting. They're not jumping out. And MSNBC, obviously, they want to make the Democrats look as strong as possible in the front end.
I have a feeling they just want the night to be over. And they're just like, hurry up, Biden, win this thing. Because MSNBC has been staunchly against Bernie. Oh my God. They've been worse than Fox News on putting down Bernie. Like Fox News doesn't even have to make jokes about Bernie anymore. They just play clips from CNN right now. Like that's where we're at today.
Oh Lordy. Well, we'll see.
Sorry, did I say clips from CNN? Texas. I meant clips from MSNBC.
You can trust the political Nostradamus that is Phil KOE. I'm calling Texas. It's going for Biden.
Yep. It's
sorry,
over.
Bernie. Yeah. Kind of, sort of, actually not really had a chance, but it was fun while it lasted. Okay, kids. I'm sorry. It's time to sober up. We had a fun time. It was a good party, but now it's time to getting around to the actual real business of deciding who's going to actually become president.
And it's not going to be either of your candidates. Ooh.
Yeah. Even if you lose the Rust Belt, Trump still wins.
And
280.
In 5 minutes, predict what a broker convention would look like, in your opinion.
Okay. Do you remember it was in Pride FC, Don Fry versus Takayama, where the bell opens?
Wow, we're going cage fighting on this?
Yes, cage fighting. Look up Don Fry versus Takayama, and immediately both fighters come out, grab each other in a dirty boxing clinch, and they just both punch each other in the face for about a minute and a half, and they just get bruised and battered, and then they start throwing knees, and then they start throwing elbows, and it was one of the worst beatings Takayama ever took. It was one of the worst beatings Don Fry ever put out. I don't know who's going to take the beating, but it's literally they're just going to grab each other. And,
Can you imagine? Can you imagine these two old geezers?
I will just feed you. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to be Biden.
I hope not. Oh,
it's going to be Biden and Sanders delegates and supporters, like the pork belly pit in Chicago, where they used to do call, sell. The pits where they would do the live action trading before like Ameritrade and the internet became popular. The floor is going to look like that. I got a delegate over here. I got a delegate that's for sale. I got some Buttigieg delegates over here. I got some Bloomberg. I got some Bloomberg delegates. Bloomberg delegates for sale. Buy, sell, call. That's what that is what the convention is going to look like. And it's going to be fucking incredible.
It's going to be a shit show, like the whole thing has been so far.
Should we do some live coverage of it?
Dude, I'm down.
I think there'll be a fist fight.
I think there'll be protesters that jump in there and cause problems.
Oh yeah, there's going to be at least one fist fight at that convention.
Oh,
and it might start a whole. If we're lucky, that one fist fight will start a beautiful Donnybrook, like Blazing Saddles end of the movie level, where just like everybody's throwing pies and beating each other up, yeah. And it's it would be marvelous.
That would be marvelous.
So yes,
I don't disagree.
That will be my hope for the convention. Maybe I'm misplaced.
Oh shit! I need to pull this up. It looks like Texas is moving to Biden. Let me get this updated here. I just seen a delegate count move in Texas. On one of my screens, I'm gonna see
SpaghettiOs for Sanders.
CNN's not showing it yet. It's interesting.
It's going to be tough. Okay, so my numbers on Virginia were wrong. Biden got 700,000, but that's still an amazing number. Okay, right now, 255 for Biden, 232 for Sanders, 16 for Warren, still 8 for Bloomberg. Bloomberg. Little Bloomberg.
Little Bloomberg.
Actually, that is a lot funnier when you say Bloomberg's name with an Irish accent. Bloomberg.
Bloomberg.
Yes, little Bloomberg. It's the little leprechaun known as Bloomberg. You leave a coin under your pillow.
So New York Times is trying to get the message out, but they're trying to get me to sign up, and I refuse. So New York Times is trying to break news early about Texas swinging towards Biden. Excuse me. But thank you. But it will not show me any of the details at the moment. But it does show Biden just gained a good chance, an extra 2 percentage points possible win in Texas with 72% of votes in. It is inching closer to the Biden side. So I think we're right. It's almost ready to call. He's got a really good chance. Maine's very likely, and California still way Sanders. Sanders probably got that one. That's
Oh yeah. I'm calling California for Sanders now.
Yeah, there's no way in hell Biden's got that.
So yeah, Bloomberg was still 8. He just needs 1,983 delegates to make it. That's all. He's almost there. So close. So close. Right there. Right there.
Yep.
Fucking Bloomberg. Jesus. I'm sorry. I know. But my God. Like, hi, I'm Michael Bloomberg, and I'm buying this election. Blatantly and openly. I am going to buy
He even said it on stage. Didn't he say I bought the Democrats?
Yeah, he bought the last election and he did. He's the reason Virginia is going to be so hard for the Republicans to win next time around. It's just Bloomberg's
Yeah.
money. Oh God.
He's garbage. How about Ilhan Omar?
Oh God, what about her?
What happened to the story? Didn't the was it the FBI finally did say that, because it was the dude that came out in her home country in Somalia came out and said, yeah, she did marry her brother.
Yeah, this one keeps
And then the
coming up
story just
again.
went away. Then it just went away. Everybody quit talking about it.
Well, we got bigger fish to fry, and we got a president to try and elect.
Yeah, but
The more you
she's a
look
Bernie
into it,
supporter. Like that's the only reason I bring it up is because she's on stage with Bernie, and I'm like, hey, didn't a guy come out a week ago and say that yeah, you did marry your brother? Like,
yeah, that's going to be something that's going to haunt her for the rest of her political career because, like, there are enough inconvenient facts there that it just looks bad no matter how you try to cut it.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know how you fix that.
yeah, neither do I. Like, luckily for her, she is in one of the safest districts that she could possibly be positioned in.
But she won't
I
shut her
don't-
mouth. She won't shut her mouth on Twitter. She's on there. Like, I follow her on Twitter just to see what she says. And like, she won't shut the fuck up. And I'm like, lady, like, there's a lot of people that don't like you. Like, if you want this to blow over, shut the fuck up.
Well, even in her own
Like-
party, I remember one time there was a press conference, and I'll send you the video. It was a fascinating body language breakdown. And they're standing in this big group, and it's, we're going to impeach Trump. We're going to get him. And Ilhan Omar is there, and she's desperately trying to find eye contact with anybody, and nobody's making eye contact with her. Nobody's validating her in the group. Nobody's wanting to acknowledge her or anything. And it was kind of uncomfortable to watch because it was one of those, like, we've all been in a group once in a while where we either don't know anybody in the group or our status in the group has been challenged, or we, when we're children, we say something wrong and now we feel like we're this big. And it really just looked to me like all the other Democrats, like, don't fucking look at me. Don't fucking talk to me. Sure shit, don't touch me. I don't want nothing to do with you. So it looks like even in her own party, she's not the most popular.
Yeah, for sure. She's nuts. She's knuckin' fuds. How about that?
Oh, I do, like, when you listen to her talk for a few minutes, it's like, what the fuck? Like, who the fuck is this? Like, what wacky shit are you saying now? Like, yeah, it's very confusing. I'll say that.
The whole thing's gross. The whole
Oklahoma.
party's gross. She is the member of the squad. Like, do you find it fascinating right now that like the whole squad seems to have almost like dissipated into their own little, like, AOC's like, hey, my district might go away, so I gotta like get my TV talking points in and my stupid little fucking speeches in. So she's doing her own thing right now. She's like really disassociated with Presley and Ilhan Omar. They still like show up together every now and then, but for the most part, like they're all kind of doing their own thing right now, and they're not the squad like they were before.
Well, they're all creations. The squad is like a creation of the media. And it was the idea of like almost like like those Transformers or like those Megazords or the Megadroids, or like maybe if we combine these 4 congresswomen together, or it makes one super droid that can challenge Trump. And it was just a creation of the media. And if the media makes you, the media can break you. And once they kind of weren't useful anymore and it was all about let's get Biden going, they went away.
Yeah, for sure. Just reading through some old chats here that we may have missed earlier. Our old buddy Brett fucking Joe Biden. 32 years after his first run for presidency. Fucking idiots, LOL. Obama is sitting back, collecting his checks, smoking a joint. Yeah, probably.
Him and the Charm Group are having a reunion. Which I do a fairly good Barack Obama impersonation, which I must say, it's strange that I, Barack Hussein Obama, despite the fact that I was born in Honolulu, raised internationally, and spent the majority of my adult life in Chicago, Illinois, I still speak with a slight Southern accent.
Yeah,
no one's ever called him on that shit.
It's like that Florida Panhandle, like molasses. Like it's that weird Southern accent. It's not like a normal Southern accent, but like,
well, because it's a fake one.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. My God. What are some of the other comments, sir?
That's really all we had in there. Not a lot of comments. I had to open it up on. I had the chats closed off to just top chats, which just showed the one random dude from earlier.
Yourself, sir. My God.
I know. Well, this is
the
a learning
KOE Nation
experience
is all
for
about
us
the
all.
Fans.
This is a learning experience. This is our first time going live on anything on here.
But you should just. My many KOE Nation fans are trying to interact with me, and you're not on it, sir.
Dude, no, they're not. They're not on here.
Oh, they were here, but they left because we're not interacting with them, sir. It's all your fault.
They're shy. That's
they are very shy. They also have proxies, so their true numbers are not showing.
The proxies.
It's like at least 10,000 of them are going through one right now. So trust me. The KOE
I can see that. I can see that.
Yes,
I can see that.
We enjoy our privacy in the KOE Nation. So, Massachusetts, that's already Biden. My God, that one. Sanders couldn't do it. Warren couldn't do it. Minnesota for Biden, that was a pseudo shocker. Carolina wasn't no shocker. I
think Massachusetts was the big shocker, and now if Texas,
Oklahoma, that was another big one. Biden 39, Sanders 25. My God, Tennessee, Jerry Lawler country, that was Biden. Texas, 32%, Sanders 29, 508,000 to 469,000. I'm going ahead and calling this one for Biden. Everybody else can wait till morn, but I'm going to call it for Biden.
Yeah. Now, I think we can wrap this up. I think there's a pretty good chance that after everything's said and done and counts are completed, Biden's going to come out 50 delegates ahead on here. I think that's what most of the stats are showing.
My God.
Which is a big shocker. Even if it's not 50, even if it's a tie, or even if he's only down 10, everybody assumed Bernie was going to be 200 delegates ahead after this. So huge night for Biden.
Yeah. He damn near cinched up the nomination tonight.
Congratulations, Mr. Biden.
Yeah, I guess, Mr. Biden, here's a toast to you, sir. Wow. Holy shit.
Remember,
way better than I thought.
Remember a few years ago, he was all like, "Oh, I'd like to take Donald Trump out in the back, the schoolyard or on the blacktop." Or I don't know what the fuck he said. Like he was gonna go out and fight him. I was like, "Dude, Trump would fuck you up." Like,
now here's their opportunity. So
I want to see it. Let's do this. I want some good old fashioned. Remember that celebrity deathmatch show? Let's do this shit in real life. I want Joe Biden.
I will say,
let's get Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders to just fight to the death. The winner gets to fight Trump for the presidency. Let's just fucking do this old school. Let's put him in. Let's just do it UFC sanction. I don't fucking care. That would be amazing. That's how we should elect our president.
Well, in celebrity deathmatch tradition, then, Chicken, I'm going to say that on behalf of the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, the Dog and Chicken Show, Extreme Edition, my good pal Chicken, Phil KOE, this has been Super Tuesday. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, signing off, handing it off, and Chicken, good fight, good night.
Good fight, good night. I have not heard that in years, Phil. That just got me excited. Look forward to it. Appreciate everybody who tuned in tonight and everybody who watches this show afterwards. God, what an incredible night for the Democratic Super Tuesday. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I was stunned and shocked the whole time. So, Phil, again, thanks for joining. Champ, any message for Tony? I see the belt on your shoulder right now. Do you have any shots to call out? Because I knew you have Elimination Chamber coming up really soon.
I do, sir. And check us out on the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. I just do have one thing to say to Tony. I did recover the RWP Championship for a 5th time, so that makes me a 5-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion. And because I'm the 5-time champion, and it was a 5-star match that made me champion, I decided to christen this the 5-star reign of extreme. Yes. So this reign will be a truly spectacular one that will go far past Elimination Chamber. But much like the politicians tonight, I'm going to way overpromise. I will hold this belt for the next 7,000 years. There will be no one that will ever have this belt. This belt will go into the stars, into the next galaxies, and into other dimensions. Yes, that's my level of overpromising. But yes, so Chicken, over on the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast, the 5-star reign of extreme has begun, sir. And Tony, looking forward to beating you at Elimination Chamber.
Fantastic. All right. Hey, again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. As always, love you. Bye.